Have you ever wondered how that YouTube celebrity, Instagram model, or someone you just randomly saw on the streets affording that extremely exotic, expensive car? Well, let me let you in on a little secret. There's a way that you can afford these two, three, 400,000, even $600,000 cars for only a few $1,000s per month. And I don't know about you, but I don't know why you would pay more for the same car. So we're going to talk about how you can take exotics and reasonably pay a monthly payment and be able to drive an extremely nice car. So let's get into it. First, I want to talk about how auto financing works. So to do that, you can click on Google Auto Loan Calculator, and we're going to break down very simply how an auto loan works. So for example, if you were to take a $25,000 car, you would take a $25,000 car loan on it. However, the bank needs to make money, so they're going to charge you a percent interest. That's dependent on your credit score, of course, but we're going to just take into account a 3.11% interest rate, which is what Google puts in there. So that's why we're using it. And typically, the loan period can be anywhere from 36 to 72 months. So we're going to pick 60 months, just again because it was pre-generated, and this is pretty typical for an auto loan. So as you can see here, it breaks it down. You're paying a little over $2,000 in interest because the total loan is $27,026, and the monthly payment is $450. So you're saying, hold on, this is not an exotic car. Where are you going with this? I'm clicking out of the video. Before you do that, let me break it down what I'm talking about first. So let's say you want to buy a new, let's call it Rolls-Royce, or a Lamborghini Huracan, or whatever it is, and that car is going to cost $250,000. So to finance this vehicle, just again using this example, it's going to cost you about $20,000 in interest because our $250,000 loan is now a total cost to us of $270,000 and some change. So our monthly payment for 60 months is $4,504. That's not too bad, you might say. Well, what if I told you I could get it down even further? So, and there is a way. So, first of all, before I get into what leasing is, which is this whole video's premise, I just want to talk to you about a quick trick you can use, and this is going to be a little bit off from what Google does, but the general rule of thumb is for financing, you can take $20 per thousand. So, for example, we'll go back to we'll do $20,000 as our loan. General rule of thumb is $20 per thousand, so 20 times 20. You should be paying around $400. This is saying $360. That's pretty close, but just to get you like thinking, like, okay, if this car is $50,000, okay, 50 times 20, the monthly payment to finance it would be around $1,000. And if you don't believe me, you can do that. $1,000, and that's gonna be pretty close to this, so 901, and that's going to be dependent upon the interest rate. So leasing is a huge benefit to people that want to have a nice car but not pay the full financing amount. So this whole notion here is why pay more for the same car. But first, let's break down how a lease works. So a lease, okay, is you're just paying, and I'm going to write this out. So a lease, you are paying just the depreciation of a vehicle. So what is a depreciation of a vehicle? Let's say this $50,000 car, in 3 years it's going to be worth $40,000. The depreciation is $10,000. That's a basic example. So with a lease, you're going to be paying just the depreciation along with taxes, fees, etc., like any other auto purchase. So I'm bringing this up because you're not paying for the full vehicle price. You're paying just the depreciation. So for example, if you were to take, and usually leases are 36 months, so I'm going to just change that to 36. And for our $50,000 to $40,000 example, the lease would be $291 a month, theoretically, for that $50,000 car. So let's just write that out. And again, this is just an example. So the car is worth $50,000 vehicle price. There is a $10,000 depreciation. So that leaves us with a $40,000. It's called a residual value. Okay, so that's our residual value. But the lease is just this $10,000. So the lease payment is $10,000 divided by the lease terms, which in this case we just said 36 months, and that brought us to about, it was like $291 a month. Oh, not that. $291 a month. Okay, so remember that the lease in our example is $291 a month. So for that same $50,000 car, to finance it, in other words, you own the vehicle through a bank is loaning you the money to finance the car, you're paying $1,400. $1,400, where I could tell you, hey, for 36 months, you could pay $291. Now, again, you're going to say, well, wait, the finance loan is for, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't, well, I guess that was a good example because that's for the same amount of time. Generally, like I said before, for a finance, it would be a little bit longer term, like 60 months. So even if we extended it to 60 months, you're paying $901. Granted, that's for 60 months versus 36 months at $291. So that's why I ask, why pay more for the same car? So this is just a cheap, quote-unquote cheap example of the benefits of a lease. Now, the same principles apply to any car, and you can lease just about any car. Now, it depends on the dealer. Some manufacturers, if it's a specialty vehicle, they won't let you do it, but you'll be surprised. There's some great deals out there. So let's first look at 2019 McLaren 720S. The sticker price is $340,000. You can lease this vehicle for $4,299 a month. $4,299 a month. $4,300 for an almost $400,000 car. Now, you may be saying, wait, read the fine print. Read the fine print. That's $20,000 down. $20,000 down is nothing if you're spending this much on a car. So let's first see how much it would cost to finance outright $340,000 using our 60-month example at that 3.11% interest rate. We're looking at $6,126 a month. Now, you did read the fine print because this was including 20% or $20,000 down. So technically, to make this a fair comparison for the financing, we should drop this by $20,000. And if sometimes you'd be able to, there would be a line item here to input money down, but just for simplicity, we'll just take the $20,000 subtracted. So it was $340, we dropped it to $320. Now our monthly payment is $5,766 per month for this McLaren. Now, you see here that this is a way less expensive number than that 58 almost $100 a month payment. Now, keep in mind that this lease offer is before negotiations and things like that. I teach a course how to negotiate a lease, how you can never pay sticker on a lease. It breaks down everything. You could probably get this down to easily under 4,000, I would think. Probably like $3,800 range. But if you're interested in that course, it's a great for anyone at all skill levels. If you've bought a first car, if you haven't bought a first car, if you've bought a few cars, if you're looking to learn how to lease, how to get great deals, I break down all the financing numbers, even tips on what to say and what not to say when you're negotiating. It's great. Check it out in the description there. So right off the bat, if we take the 5,800 minus the advertised 4,300, why pay $1,500 more for the same car? I think I'm driving the point home, but this is just the McLaren. Let's look at Rolls-Royce is the same thing. Now, guys, I want you to keep in mind that this lease is completely dependent. What did we just talk about was a huge part of what a lease is. You're paying the depreciation. So theoretically, this car if we're taking fees and taxes out of it, okay? What I can do to figure out what the depreciation of this car is take the lease payment. Okay, we'll round it up just to make it easier. 4,300 times the terms, which if you can see that's 47 months. So $202,000. So that's saying that the residual value is $202,000. So if you take 340 this car is depreciating $138,000 in 47 months. So again, you're going to get better deals on a lease on a car that doesn't depreciate. So like this example here where it was the car only depreciates $10,000, that's like unheard of for a $50,000 car. That's why this payment was so low. So keep that in mind. Which is why we go over here to the Rolls-Royce. It's almost the same sticker, but the lease is way less money. Probably because this car doesn't depreciate as much as a McLaren does, which makes sense. A McLaren is a super exotic car. The Rolls-Royce it can be a daily driver. You know, there are a lot more of them out there. They're a lot less rare than a McLaren would be. So that makes a little bit of sense. So as you can see here, I'm not going to do the financing math again, but just to show how this depreciates going off the numbers. This is $2,895, 48-month lease term. So generally, just going rough numbers here, this car is going to be depreciating. We're going to do 130. We'll call it 140. It's going to be depreciating, $197,000. Did I do that right? Wait. So we did. Let's do 2,900 times 48 is 139,000 residual off of 337. So we'll call it 140, 337 minus 140. Okay, so it's going to depreciate $197,000. So, and if you do that depreciation divided by the 48 months, so this is the raw numbers here. So this is $4,100 because, which I didn't take into account, the $20,000 deposit, the money down. So if you factor in the $20,000 down, divided by 48 months. So that's $416 per month less. So that was like what, 4,100 minus, was it 460? Could be wrong. So actually the math isn't working out there, but you get the point. I'm going off rough estimates here. And the whole point of this video is just to show you that you can lease anything. This car is a Lamborghini Aventador S Roadster. You can lease it for $6,300 a month with almost 50 grand down. Keep that in mind. But this car stickers for about $460,000. We take $460,000. If you did no money down for 60 months, you'd pay almost $8,300 a month in your car payment. Now, this did say there was $50,000 down. And remember, this is also, remember the fine print will say based on above average credit. So credit is key. So if we were to even drop this by $50,000 to make it $410,000, you're still paying $7,300 a month. So basically, you're saving yourself $1,000 a month if you lease it versus financing. So I hope this video was valuable. It showed you that there's a way to afford cars that are expensive and kind of break it down to a reasonable monthly payment. I mean, look at this. 2018 Lamborghini Huracan, $2,500 a month. Yeah, you're putting $2,300 down, but this is like a $250,000 car, $270,000 car. You know, even if you're putting 20 grand down, okay, 20 grand minus a $250,000 car is like $230. I think the Spider's a little bit more, but just for example, you know, to finance that, that'd be $4,100. Here, you're leasing it for $2,500. That's not bad. Some people pay that in rent. So this is just a huge way that you can benefit from leasing because, like I've been driving home this whole time, why pay more for the same car? If you like this video, give us some love, throw us a like, subscribe for more content. If you want to know how to lease a car, how to negotiate a lease, how to get a great lease, because these are just advertised. You can get this number down. Check out my course in the description, the Master Car Negotiation course. Leave a comment. If you didn't like it, let us know why. We always appreciate feedback, positive or negative. Thank you for watching. If you want me to do a follow-up video, or if you have questions, I'll read every comment in the description, or below the description rather. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.